Xbox 360 version sit. Let's play games that you can't play anymore. Let's play... Where is it? Marble Blast Ultra isn't on the Xbox 360 dashboard anymore. You can't buy it anymore because Garage Games went out of business like 7 years ago. So this is a game that I own that you can't buy anymore. Though, from what I've heard, Marble Blast, I guess it's just called Marble Blast, is like this really old PC game, and I guess there's like a modding community out there. There was something called Marble Blast Gold, and what they've done with Marble Blast Gold is they've ported all the levels from Marble Blast Ultra to Marble Blast Gold, so you can play them on the PC anyway. And I guess since it's technically considered abandonware, all that stuff is like free now. You can just download it for free and play it for free. And I've already messed up. Wow. I am, like, apparently super rusty in all this. I don't think I'm supposed to go down there. I think I'm supposed to go straight. And I never finished Marble Blast Ultra because this game gets really hard after a certain point.
Checkpoint.
And like, a lot of people cite this as like the first real good Xbox Live Arcade game. Like, this and Geometry Wars is like the two things that made people like stand up and go, whoa, you know, Xbox Live Arcade's gonna be amazing. And this is a pretty good game. In fact, like, you could say that it's a lot like Super Monkey Ball, I guess. But I don't know if I like Super Monkey Ball. My problem with Super Monkey Ball is that, like, the whole concept that the world tilts, I don't like that because that feels so disorienting. This is like Super Monkey Ball if the world didn't rotate with you, if you just controlled it like a platformer. And that, I think, is a lot better. And it is like a real tragedy that you just, like, the Garage Games shut down because of this.
Time travel.
Like, Microsoft made a big deal about, I think Garage Games made the Blitz 3D engine, and that's what Marble Blast here is running on. It's running on the Blitz 3D engine. And, like, during the first Xbox 360 presentation and everything, you know, they were like, you know, wow, look at this. Look, we have Blitz 3D running on the Xbox 360. Here's Marble Blast Ultra. Like, that was how big of a deal this game was to them. And now Garage Games is gone. It's shut down. You can't buy this game anymore. Garage Games also did Tribes, if you remember that. That's gone. I think someone might have bought the Tribes IP and they made like a Tribes game out of that, but you know, I think those developers are gone too. Like, it has been a long time since, what was that, Tribes Ascension? Gosh, that must have been like 7 years ago. Holy crap. Tribes Ascend, right, yeah, that's it. Ascension was Tribes 2? Maybe? I've never played Tribes. Like, I'll be honest. I have a lot of reverence for Tribes because I know, like, what it established. Like, it was the first first-person shooter, multiplayer first-person shooter with vehicles. You know, you had the jetpack, you had skiing. You had people running around maps saying Shazbot. Like, I know Tribes, I don't I never played Tribes. I never had a crew to play Tribes with, I guess, is the ultimate thing in all this. Because I'm the kind of person who only plays multiplayer games with friends. And if I don't have any friends to play with, then I don't play them. The exception to that being like Splatoon, right? Splatoon is probably the only multiplayer shooter that I've put, gosh, like 60 or 70 hours into at this point now. And I've never played with friends even once. And, you know, you think 60 and 70 hours, that doesn't sound like a lot. Because multiplayer games are things that people play for, you know, hundreds and hundreds of hours. Like, I have 900 hours in Left 4 Dead 2, but 70 hours playing Splatoon by myself is a lot for a game I don't play with friends. And I think that's like largely attributed probably to like voice chat. Like Splatoon not having voice chat. It just has the simple chat commands. So you don't have to deal with people with crappy microphones, people swearing at you for not doing your job. You know, the worst you have to deal with in Splatoon is somebody spamming the come on emote. Which, you know, everyone ignores. So is that due to my friends not playing it, or Nintendo being horrible at implementing friends? It's a little bit of both. Like, I played Mario Kart 8 with friends a lot, so, you know, it's not a big deal for me to find enjoying games with my friends. It's just, I think only like 2 other people I know own Splatoon, which is fine, you know, I'm perfectly fine not having friends to play with. And it's one of those things where, like, you know, I've said to my friends before, you know, hey, I'm playing Splatoon, and nobody joins me, and that's fine too. Like, Splatoon is this, like, really great game that I can just play by myself. And that's like, that sounds like a weird thing to say, especially for a multiplayer game, but it's the truth, really. And I think that speaks to the strength of Splatoon and the community around Splatoon and everything else. Like, it'd be nice if I could play Splatoon with friends, I guess, but I don't really know what that experience even looks like. So maybe playing with Splatoon with friends wouldn't actually be that good of an experience. I don't know. Like, that's a weird thing for me to say, right? But I have no concept of what Splatoon with friends even looks like. And we're just playing Marble Blast Ultra.
Checkpoint.
Oh!
Super speed.
It's almost like they put this here on purpose. So this is all well and good, but really, the reason I come to Marble Blast Ultra is for this level.
Checkpoint.
And maybe there's a reason I come to this level. I don't know, you tell me. Well, don't tell me because I just fell off into the abyss below the stage, but let's try that again.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Aw. There's an Easter egg up there that I've never gotten. You get it for like bouncing off one of these pyramids really high. And I totally botched this. Like, the reason I play this level is because you can get going so fast if you figure it out.
Checkpoint.
But I am rusty as heck. So, I don't actually remember. I think, like, my record on this level is, like, 18 seconds? Or, like, 23? It's something really low. Yeah, 37. That's pretty low, I think, considering it just took me, like, 1 minute, 10 seconds.
Checkpoint.
Come on, nope, turn!
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Oh, get the Easter egg! But, like, imagine, I'd be finishing the level by now. And I don't remember how I did it.
Checkpoint.
Anyway, that's Marble Blast Ultra. How do I get back to my... There we go. And yeah, you're pretty right. Like, that's pretty close to what Sonic the Hedgehog, like, the original Sega Genesis games were supposed to be, right? But I also feel like there have been fan games that have implemented physics like Marble Blast Ultra, and it doesn't feel right once you start, like, getting a character in there that animates instead of a rolling marble ball. It starts to feel a little weird. I guess next on our showcase of games you can't buy anymore, we'll play Turtles in Time Reshelled, which is... it's kind of garbage. Ubisoft had the really good idea to remake Turtles in Time, and you think, oh wow, you know, that's actually a really cool idea. Turtles in Time was a great game. But here's the deal. For starters, even though it said Ubisoft Shanghai or Singapore when this started, I'm pretty sure this is a Gameloft game. I think Gameloft was just renamed Ubisoft Singapore. Second of all, they didn't get the rights to the music, they didn't get the rights to the levels. All they really got was the rights to the name Turtles in Time. Whoops. Oh, I hate it when it does that. Are you sure you want to save? No. Of course I want to save. But, like, I guess they did also technically get the rights to the bosses, of course. But this just... like, look at how this art is kind of ugly. You can hear the music in the background that sounds really generic. Instead of each turtle just being, like, a reskin of the same basic fighter, now they all have like, different stats and everything. And it's just... like, when we get into it, you'll see that they also, like, changed the combat system. I think they tried to add a little bit of depth to it, but it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like... it feels worse than the original Turtles in Time, is I guess what I'm trying to say here. Like, you can hear the music. Well, actually, here. It's a little... the music's a little low. But, like, it's just an overall less charming, less fun package. Even if the graphics are technically, like, improved or whatever, like, the 2D art wasn't great of the Turtles there, but it does look alright in motion. And Ubisoft did go through the trouble of, like, hiring the actors from the 2003 Ninja Turtles cartoon, the Foxbox one. So, you know, it's Ninja Turtles, but it's not the Ninja Turtles you want. It's really generic and weird and just not nostalgic in the way it should be. Like, okay, you know, you think about, well, obviously, for starters, that's not a TMNT 2003 voice. That is someone trying to sound like Krang from the original 1988 cartoon, but the Turtles are from the Fox show, whatever. But you know how in beat-em-ups you have one attack button, and usually a jump button, and if you push attack and jump together in some of these games, you do, like, a crowd control move. Well, here, you just get the crowd control move for free, and it's considered like a heavy attack, which, you know, maybe isn't like the worst idea in the world, but I don't know. It just feels weird to have like this kick. This is your heavy attack, and you can slide, which is alright, but I don't know. I didn't like this version of Turtles in Time. Like, look at that. Like, they went through the trouble of doing analog stick controls, but you still snap to 8 directions, which is weird. Like, your attacks feel mushy. And, like, I guess another problem is they went through the trouble of, like, you know, trying to make this a more, or I guess I should say less like an arcade game. But then you get a boss like Baxter Stockman here, and he still does all these really, like, stupid, cheap attacks that can't be blocked or parried or anything like that. It's just, it's such a weird mixture of, hey, remember this game? Look how much we changed all of it. They would have been better off just making a new game. And look how many, like, I think I put this on easy, and look how many foot soldiers they're throwing at me. I think even the arcade version was a little more forgiving than this. And, like, that was another weird thing about this. That punching robot just now. Somehow, in their infinite wisdom, Ubisoft Singapore, or Gameloft, or whoever it is, decided not to base this version on the Super Nintendo version, which is like, that's the version of Turtles in Time I think everyone remembers most fondly. It has the most levels, the most features, it's the most coherent, but for some reason, when they made this version of the game, they based it on the arcade version, and the arcade version is worse than the Super Nintendo version. And, like, that's the ultimate example of we don't know what we're doing, is when they specifically base their HD remake off the wrong version of the game. It'd be like if Nintendo made New Super Mario Brothers, and it was intended to be a remake of Super Mario Brothers Special for the Sharp 6800, right? It's ridiculous. And if you've never seen Super Mario Brothers Special on the Sharp 6800 or whatever it is, it's garbage, it's junk, it's not even Super Mario Brothers, it's like, there's no scrolling or anything, it's abysmal. Meanwhile, I'm over here playing Turtles in Time Reshelled. Like, one of the differences between the Super Nintendo version and the arcade version of Turtles in Time is, I think, like, the next level, Sewer Surfing. After Sewer Surfing, in the Super Nintendo version, you go to the Technodrome and you fight Shredder and he throws you through the time portal, and that's when you go back in time. In this version, in the arcade version, Shredder just shows up in the middle of Sewer Surfing and he's like, you know, go back in time, and he throws you back in time, like, apropos of nothing. Like, he doesn't even have a special device to throw you back in time. He's just magic for some reason. And, like, the Super Nintendo version has, like, a special boss in this version of Sewer Surfing. It's a better version of the game, and for some reason Ubisoft was just like, no. Oh, that's good. I like that. An invincible foot soldier. And, like, these aliens don't look right. In the original cartoon, they were like xenomorphs from Alien. Like, listen to this music. What is this music? Like, I think Ubisoft could be forgiven if the music they replaced the old music with was at least catchy. But this is just garbage. Can't really hear the music, huh? So let's turn it up a little bit so that you can hear this, whatever this is. Like, I get the impression that they were probably trying to make it, like, retro sounding. So it's got, like, this really crappy MIDI guitar in it, but it just sounds bad. Oh, if I hit the left trigger, I get a Metal Gear Solid exclamation point. Maybe that's to, like, call for help if I'm playing in co-op? I don't know.
My patience is wearing thin. I am banishing you to a time warp. from which you shall never return.
Thanks, Shredder. I'm glad you just have that power now. Why are his eyes orange? Is he evil?
Prehistoric Turtlesaurus.
Now listen to that. That is like the ultimate slap in the face, because this song starts the same way as the old song did. And you know what, folks? I think I'm just about reaching my limit here for how much Turtles in Time Reshelled I can stand. Like, it's just getting worse. Like, this music is worse. Like, calling it generic is being too generous. This is just bad. This isn't even fit to be like a royalty-free song that you get from Kevin MacLeod or something, right? And that's not like a diss on Kevin MacLeod. I use his music in all kinds of my videos because it's actually good, and this is just... I don't even know what this is. Also, I say I'm getting tired of Reshelled, but honestly, if I play like Turtles in Time on my own time, it's usually around Prehistoric Turtlesaurs that I feel like I need to give up. Because this is where the game starts getting really hard. Like, this is where it starts turning into an arcade game. They start munching quarters. Like, the thing about it is, I play games like this, and I imagine in my head what a modern Ninja Turtles game should be. And you'd think that, like, Platinum would have done a good job, but apparently they didn't. And it's such a bummer. I imagine, like, a Ninja Turtles game that plays kind of like Bayonetta almost. Not where you necessarily have, like, Witch Time or whatever, but just... you know, just that kind of dodge system, the Platinum dodging system. Or some kind of way to roll out of the way of danger, like in God of War, maybe. That doesn't have this. It should. Because it feels like you can't avoid attacks. You mash and mash and mash and mash. And, like, I think that's what separates mashy beat-em-ups from... again, something like Bayonetta is that you have this parry move in modern beat-em-ups that these old games didn't have. And if they were gonna modernize it, you'd think they'd go ahead and, like, do that. But they didn't. They just made the combat weird and mushy, and they ruined all the music. They based it on the wrong version of the game. And they modernized some parts and not others. And they gave Donatello yellow eyes for some reason. I don't really understand that. But you know what? This fight will go on forever if I let it go on forever. And I'm not gonna let it go on forever. I'm gonna quit out of Turtles in Time Reshelled. Let's see. We're going through Xbox games that aren't sold anymore, so the next on that list would be... Where is it? There it is. Outrun Online Arcade. And who doesn't like Outrun? I mean, come on. I didn't used to like Outrun, to be fair. It seemed incredibly simplistic, but maybe I've just gotten old enough to appreciate it, or who knows what, but now I like it. I also think it probably has something to do with the fact that I bought Outrun Online Arcade, which is a better version of Outrun. I still don't necessarily think I like the original arcade version of Outrun. And I just realized if I was going to play this, I should have hooked up my my racing wheel. Because that's really what this game is built for. Let's go with the classic GTO.
Automatic transmission. Outrun mode. Splash wave.
Of course, it has to be Splash Wave. Like, there's just no other option. It's Splash Wave. Hang on a minute, hang on a minute, hang on. And no, I don't want cockpit view, thank you very much. And obviously the reason this isn't being sold anymore is because Sega lost the rights to the Ferrari license. And I guess since Yu Suzuki doesn't work at Sega anymore, there's really no impetus to keep licensing Ferrari. They're probably very expensive, I'd assume. There aren't tons of Ferrari games out there. Actually, for a while, Sega seemed to be the only ones making games with Ferraris in them, and it was primarily Outrun. And there was also Ferrari 335 Challenge on the Dreamcast. That was a good game. I mean, I assume it was a good game. I only ever played the demo version, so, it seemed okay based on that, I guess.
Checkpoint. I want to go far away.
I also want to go far away. Huh? I'm in Sonic Adventure, everyone. Or perhaps it is Crazy Taxi. Sega seemed to be weirdly obsessed with San Francisco for a while there. And now I'm just quietly focusing on enjoying Outrun.
Checkpoint. What fun!
Excuse me, sir. Yeah, drive through the big tree. What forest is this? Is this like Yellowstone? Or, gosh, I can't ever remember that big national park in California. Though, I just glanced at the chat really quick, and apparently... Well, I can't read that, because I have to drive. I was trying to read, and then I ran into a car, so... And like the thing about Outrun you have to remember is this is like was an arcade game, so if you mess up like too much, I won't be able to finish this because my time will run out. So I should really just focus on driving and not running into walls like that. I'm trying to pick like an ending that I haven't seen before, but I don't know if that's possible. Like, I don't want to say that I've gotten all the endings in Outrun, but I don't remember which ones I've seen or not and how to get to the ones I haven't. It's one of those things where I think I need to start specifically charting it out. Yeah, AMD.
Congratulations.
So the tree tunnel in this stage was destroyed in real life. That's a bummer. Oh, and these ridiculous ending sequences. And the way they're dressed, like, holy crap. Maybe I have gotten them all, because there's not that many. Oh. I used to have a keyboard hooked up to my 360 for this kind of stuff. Wait, initials? Does that mean I can only do 3? Yeah. Well, 4. Boy, I come to this... Oh no, yeah, okay, that's for Goal C. Man, I've played this game a lot more than I thought. But that's a good thing, right? Still don't know what that park in California is called, though. Next up in games you can't buy on the Xbox 360 anymore is another Sega game. Because there was a period where Sega just let, like, 5 games lapse, or whatever you want to call it. It's Outrun Online Arcade. And I think both... Wait, Sega Rally Online Arcade. I'm sorry, I said Outrun. With both Outrun and Sumo... Wow! All of a sudden, my brain just left my body. Sequoia Tunnel Tree, yeah. Oh, it was brought down by a storm, okay. But, Sega. Both Outrun Online Arcade and Daytona USA. Oh my gosh. I should just stop talking, shouldn't I? Outrun and Sega Rally were both by Sumo Digital. That's what I was trying to say. You'll have to forgive me. There are a lot of Sega arcade games. There's a lot of Sega arcade games that Sumo Digital has worked on. And there's like... whatever. I guess we'll do a championship. This will take us through, I think, 4 tracks, give or take. And I'm kind of bummed out. I bought this version of the game thinking that it was just like an Xbox Live Arcade version of Sega Rally Revo, and it's not. This is actually a port Like, here's like the confusing sequence of events here. So, Sega opened a studio, I think literally just called Sega Racing Studio. And the first game they made was Sega Rally Revo. And that was for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. Sega Rally Revo didn't do very well. But it did well enough that in Japan, Sega of Japan released Sega Rally Revo as Sega Rally Arcade. And what they did is they took Sega Rally Revo and they simplified a lot of it. They took out a lot of the tracks, they took out the progression system, they took out a lot of different stuff and just made it into a regular arcade game. And then years later, when Sega started releasing all these online arcade editions of their games, they took that arcade version of Sega Rally Revo and re-released it on Xbox Live Arcade as Sega Rally Online Arcade, which is what this is. So it's technically just a version of Sega Rally Revo that has been like simplified and arcadified, but it's not Sega Rally Revo. And I thought it was Sega Rally Revo. And it's such a weird thing. Like this is a track from Sega Rally Revo, and I'm playing, like, this is the graphics engine from Sega Rally Revo. These are the cars, the handling, but they changed it a little bit. It is so weird. I should probably... I don't know if I can, actually. Normally I'm like a cockpit person. I like to drive from the cockpit. I don't know how to get out of the cockpit in Sega Rally here. You know, it might not actually let me. Does it tell me in controls, maybe? What? Okay, there we go. Toggle driver name, change camera is... I thought I pushed the back button. There we go. Normally I don't like driving from a third-person camera, but I figure that for the purposes of a stream, people probably enjoy it a little bit more if they can see the car. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. And like the weird thing is, I've been a cockpit person for racing games for a really long time. And, I don't know, in the last year or so, I've actually started switching more and more back to a third-person camera for a lot of these games. And I'm not entirely sure why I've done that. I just have. And the thing about this being an arcade game, you'll notice I kept my position from the last track. I start in 14th because I finished in 14th. And the actual entire goal of this, the campaign, the championship mode, is by the end of the last track you have to get to first place. And if you do that, you get to access like a special extra 4th or 5th track, and I think that's how you like unlock extra cars and everything. And it's actually pretty difficult. I don't think I've ever really done it, to be honest. I think I've seen the bonus track one time ever. Maybe like twice. I've played a lot of this game. Like, even though it's not Sega Rally Revo like I wanted, you know, it's still... I think it's still pretty fun for a Sega Rally game, right? I will play this game if you ask me to. And nobody asked me to, and I'm playing it anyway, so that should tell you quite a bit. Because, like, that was something that kind of bummed me out about Sega Rally Revo. I remember watching the Giant Bomb quick look for it, and Ryan Davis just totally crapping all over the game. Being like, oh, who needs a new Sega Rally game when we have Dirt 2? Like, there's no point to having Sega Rally anymore. And it's just like, dude, yeah, there is. not every game has to be every game, I guess is what I'd try to say to him. Dirt 2 is a little too simulation-y for some people. And Sega Rally, even Sega Rally Revo, even though it was more realistically focused than past Sega Rally games, was still pretty arcadey, and that's kind of why I think Sega of Japan converted it into like a real arcade game, is because it just fit that mold really well. So for him to crap all over Sega Rally Revo, saying how unnecessary it was, it kind of broke my heart a little bit, because it's a cool game. Like, I remember playing the demo and just really liking it. And I really like Sega Rally Online Arcade, and it's a real bummer that you can't buy this game anymore. Sega Rally Revo was actually on Steam for a little while, and you can't buy that either because Sega lost the rights to all these cars that are featured in the game. They're real-world cars like the Subaru Impreza and Mazda MRX or whatever. That was pretty close. Try next stage. What do you guys think? Am I going to finish in the top 3? I don't think I'm going to. Of course, I wasn't even paying attention to my position in that time, or in that past race. I was just talking about Giant Bomb, Ryan Davis. Like, he was weird about a lot of stuff like that. I remember him complaining about Bayonetta, about how it was, to quote him, a game-ass game because it had a HUD that tracked your score. And he said that like it was a bad thing. Like, sometimes I don't know what people want out of video games. Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch to cockpit for this, because this is where it starts getting tricky. You can tell this is based on the Nürburgring. Has that writing all over the road back there? That is very Nürburgring. And like these tire tracks here you see in the snow, those are like, it's probably not that impressive nowadays, but back in like 2008 or whatever, when Sega Rally Revo first came out, that was like the big claim to fame for this game, is that you're... Oh, I ran out of time. See, this is a good game. Game over, yeah. But the thing about it is, your car leaves, like, here, we'll just go back to that track. No, this... Where is it? Oh, that's the... I guess I did unlock it, so whatever. But your car leaves tracks in dirt and mud and snow, and the tracks you leave behind actually affects the car that's behind you. It's actually modeled to where, you know, your tires realistically react to terrain deformation. And I think, like, that's something that just most off-road racing games do nowadays, but like I said, back in 2008, that was supposed to be, like, super impressive. And you can tell, when we drive through the snow up here, you know, your car leaves tracks, and those tracks stay around. Like, even up here where it's, like, melting snow, you'll notice that, like, you leave tracks in it, like you're supposed to, like up here. You can see tire tracks in the melting snow. And those are dynamic, that's real-time terrain deformation, and that's pretty cool, I think. It was one of the very first games to do that. It's probably just, like, simple parallax mapping, I assume. But still, like, I can feel it rumble in my controller when I drive across another car's tracks, I guess.
Medium left. Medium right. Easy right. Easy left. Hairpin left. Hairpin right.
I don't know about you guys, but I just really like racing games.
Medium left. Medium right. Medium left. Maybe.
Oh, I'm starting... My mind wandered a little bit. Started worrying about not talking enough.
Easy left. Easy right.
And you know, I shouldn't. This is a chill stream. I'm not, like, trying to do anything specific.
Medium left. Over jump. Long, easy left. Maybe. Medium left. Medium right.
Sometimes I kind of wish I'd bought, like, Daytona USA on the Xbox 360. But, you know, it's like $5, and there's 3 tracks. And there's, like, you can finish Daytona USA in, like, 10 minutes. And on some level, like, that's expected, but also, I don't know, it feels like even for $5, that does not feel like enough game to me.
Medium left. Maybe.
But man, Sega made some good arcade racing games. And like Daytona USA is up there, like, being one of the best, I guess.
Medium right. Easy left. Easy right. Long, medium left.
I don't think I'm gonna catch this guy.
Medium left. Over jump. Long, easy left. Maybe.
That's one of my favorite things about,
Medium left.
like, Sega Rally. Is your guy being like, long, medium, left, maybe.
Finish.
Like, is that like a rally thing? Like, do they actually have maybes written on their sheet? I guess we'll round this out. I'll do the seaside or lakeside track or whatever it is. Because if I'm gonna show all the tracks, I'm gonna show all the tracks.
Three, two, one, go! Medium left. Long, medium right. Easy left. Medium left. Easy right. Easy left. 90 right. 90 right. Medium left. Long, easy right. Medium left. Medium right.
I think after I finish Sega Rally here, we might switch consoles.
Long, easy left. Easy left.
Because I really want to see how this handles, like, PlayStation 2 and Wii games. Things where it might start upscaling. I think upscaling is where you start running into latency problems.
90 right. Medium left. Long medium right. Easy left. Medium left. Easy right. Easy left. 90 right. 90 right. Medium left.
If you can't tell, my strategy in a lot of these racing games
Easy right.
is to just bounce off the walls.
Medium left.
Especially in a game like this. I think Sega Rally Revo had like actual cosmetic damage, but one of the things they took out for the arcade version was vehicle damage, so you can just bounce off walls and it's fine.
Easy left. Hairpin right. Ninety right. Ninety right. Final left. Long medium right. Easy left. Medium left. Easy right. Easy left. 90 right. 90 right. Medium left. Long easy right. Medium left.
Ooh. Yeah, there's no way I'm catching up to second place.
Easy right. Easy left. Long easy left.
Like, even with me sitting here and focusing very intently on winning this race, like, it is just such a twisty track.
90 right.
Like, that's one of the things I kind of don't like about Sumo Digital's racing games. They seem to do this a lot. They don't give you, like, a mini-map for the track.
You finished third.
You just get, like, this weird progress bar you have to deal with, and I don't know. I'm not sure I like that. Anyway, latency on Xbox 360 games seems to be pretty good. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to mute myself, I'm going to turn off the Xbox, and I'm going to switch over to the PlayStation 2. So give me a second to find all the cables and get controllers and everything else hooked up, and we'll check out some PlayStation 2 games. Stay tuned.